Welcome to SFN, your preeminent source for space and defense news and all things tangentially related. We're your hosts, loyal to the foil here at Houston Mission Control, and we've got Alara of Sirius in low Earth orbit, and we're here live every Sunday night.
There will be no crow of judgment tonight, Foil. There will be none of that. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Space Fam, Space Tria? It's great to be here Sunday night. Space Force News, number 69. What's going on, fam? Here we go. Here we go. Thank you, Suki, for the cookie. Thank you, Fight for Trump, for the cookie. Julie65 for the cookie. Thumper Rose for the cookie. This is a UFO unusual fiscal object from me. They are rare in my something life. LOL.
Well,
thank you, Thumper Rose, for the cookie. Right? Who did I miss here? Jonah Sark.
Joan of Sark.
Yeah, yes. And Suki again with the cookie. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
all right,
guys.
So who do we got in the house tonight? We got 1009 Chase. Dawn No, which was first. Hey, Dawn, always good to see you. Lotus Poet is here. Fantastic. Brad W. Michelle Janae, good to see you. Michael Scott. Suki, of course. Tree Wade, Capable, the Canadian. Keep True, Julie65. Who else is out there? Who else do I spy with my little eye?
Frightening Me, Lenny T.
Frightening Me. Ooh, Sol Rico, is it really your birthday? Is it Sol Rico's birthday?
Happy
birthday, Sol Rico. What's going on? You're spending part of your birthday with the Space Triats? That's awesome. We're flattered. Victory 79 with the cookie. Much love, ladies. Much love back to you. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support. 2 If by the Sea. Welcome to the party. Austin Morris, up 3. Wonder Mod, good to see you. Glad you're here. Roxy Boxy, happy birthday. I'm guessing that's for Sol Rico because it's definitely not my birthday. You know? So I'm guessing that's for you, Sol Rico. I'm translating for you because it's definitely not for me. So what's up, loyal to the foil?
Yeah, I just realized I am not in mission control today.
Are you on the Star Trek Enterprise?
Yeah, I'm apparently in engineering on the Enterprise. I didn't even realize where I was at. Imagine that.
Hey, I used to be in low Earth orbit, and our intro still says, and we've got Alara of Sirius in low Earth orbit, and I'm totally not in low Earth orbit anymore.
Well, I mean, technically you are in low Earth orbit. I mean...
So check this out. I did get a green screen and I tried to put it up so that I could put myself back in my ship and be in low Earth orbit. But the green screen wasn't big enough. And so, I failed at that. But if you'll notice here, this way, the TV finally made it up on the wall. So can everybody give Foil a round of applause, please? Give Foil a round of applause. All the credit goes to her for taking initiative and making that happen. Thank you so much, Foil. You're awesome. The maddest Hatter coming with the ship. Thanks, Hatter, for the ship. That's so sweet of you.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that means the world.
Ross
Thank you.
The fleet. I get to listen live for a change. Oh, driving and listening. That's the best way to do it. Best way to do it. Much love to you guys both. Thank you.
I wonder if we're entertaining to listen to while you're driving. Because you kind of never know what's going to happen here, you know? Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's disaster, sometimes, you know, it's just kind of all over the place. But that's why we love Space Force News, right, fam? I hope my audio's good. This got the new mic working, and it seems to be working good so far. What's up, Jenny Callie? Stacks, good to see you. Toon Kid, good to see you as well. Yeah, so first order of business. Okay.
We have orders of business?
Yeah. Well,
thanks for the claps, guys. Thanks for the claps.
Yeah, they're clapping for you. Look at that there. Isn't that cool? All right, so first order of business, Foil, is did I hit go live on Rockfin? Nope. It's probably a good idea if I hit go live.
Oh, buddy.
Sorry about that, Rockfin. Sorry about that. Totally sorry about that. All right, Laura, pull it together. Hold on. This video here. Let's start here. Come on. totally sounds like he says I'm Optimus Prime.
I'm a big fan of Optimus Prime. Listen, my brother wanted to name my nephew Optimus Prime, right? His mother refused, but I was definitely all in favor of that.
Yes,
Vinny was almost named Optimus Prime. We were very close.
That's reason number 2 why I should never have, and can never have kids, because I would do something like that. I would totally name my child Optimus Prime.
Come on, that's
totally
the most
funny.
gangster name. Like, that's awesome. Like, he would be so cool in school with the name Optimus Prime. I mean, come on, man. Everybody wants to name their kid something cool like that.
Second order of business.
And just wait, for the record, I was in favor of the guy doing the worm in the subway. Just so the people know.
You really want to show that, don't you? You just love that.
I thought it was great.
I have it.
He was working the pole. He was working the pole in the subway. That was awesome.
All right, guys, I have to keep her happy. Man. If she wants to play something funny and she thinks it's funny, then I better just play it. I've learned that. You know what I mean?
Thanks, Life of Brian,
She's not going to let it go. She really wants y'all to see this. Thank you so much, Life of Brian. Appreciate that. All right, so before we get to that, because she wants you to see the dudes in the subway, Christina Love, we got a package from Christina Love, and there were so many amazing, wonderful gifts in there. She got us bracelets, and she got us this, and I love this pillow. I love it so much that I keep it on my chair now. Look, guys, it's got aliens and paisley. Whoop. Yeah, it's fantastic. So yeah, that comes from Christina Love. Thank you so much. I love your pillow, Christina. It's now my little chair pillow. I love it. It's great. Thank you. All right, let's play Foil's worm video before she...
Yeah, Life of Brian wants to see it, right? Yeah, and Christina, I told you Friday. Thank you so much for the bracelet. It's beautiful. I love it.
I said, Foil, this is not appropriate for Space Force News. She says, I don't care. Play it. She said it. I don't care. Play it. It's funny. All right, Foil. All right, here we go. All right. Let's watch the guy in the worm and the subway and the whole thing.
All right. Here we go. It's great. It's great. You might have to take us off the screen, though. You know, these guys deserve...
Okay. I know you're not talking to me like that.
Thanks, Hatter, for the phone. Thanks, Hatter, for the shades. Much love for the gold pills. Oh, and the can. Morty here.
What you gonna do? Right. What you gonna do?
Hey, man, they're having a dance-off.
Right, but you gotta wait. You gotta wait. Like, this ain't even it, man. This ain't even.
No, yeah, this isn't where it's funny, guys. It gets better.
Yeah. Look,
this is just it's only just begun.
These big ass dudes.
Dance off.
Breaking it down on the subway. You know, people were probably sitting there like, uh-oh.
Look at this guy, though. Oh, man.
Look. OG about to bring it in, man. Look.
The pole dance is the best, though. The worm. Do you think they planned this, or this was improv, Foil?
Oh, I think that dude in them gray pants came out of nowhere, man. I'm convinced. Yes, editor at large.
Yeah, they look impressed by that. They look super impressed.
Right?
They look super impressed. All right, so now the Foil got her thrill.
Does rock. Yes, that's all I wanted. It's just the little things. Yeah. Right? I thought, they think it's funny.
She was cracking up watching that, you guys. She was completely cracking up. Grandmaster UV, whoa, anti-gravity. Did we show anti-gravity yet? I don't think we did. All right, but
well, that dude on the pole was rocking some anti-grav for sure.
Oh, that was anti-gravity. Okay, well, I guess it was appropriate for Space Force News then. So this is what we will be discussing tonight, my friends. Space Force and deep space tactically responsive capabilities, and like Foil so lovingly pointed out to me, I spelled tactically wrong. So I'll fix that shortly. So nobody else needs to tell me that I spelled tactically wrong. I'm well aware that I did. Thank you. Anti-satellite missile tests, Dunlap resignation, Elon Musk and Netflix. He's just going in on everybody lately, huh? He's just going all in.
Yeah.
Yeah. SpaceX shuts down electromagnetic warfare attack. Musk Tinder offer for Twitter. Tinder, you know. I was like, what does that mean? Yeah. Boring Company ramps up China's vision for global security. China Solomon Security Pact. Russian missile test, mass graves near, how do you pronounce that? Mariupol?
Mariupol.
Mariupol. You're so good at pronouncing things, Foil. I'm so glad I have you. Jurassic Park mosquitoes, mRNA, and heart attacks. That article is fascinating. We were going to cover this last week.
It is, actually.
But we didn't have time. Yeah, so Large Hadron, in other news, the Large Hadron Collider is restarting. Isn't that fantastic? Woohoo! Isn't everybody excited? So who knows what's going to happen next? Ketamine and psychiatric medicine. It's a thing.
Hey.
It's a total thing. NASA holoportation, space cannon. Foil's going to tell us what that is. The space cannon, I'm dying to know. Electrified EPatch bandage. We got killer space lasers and crowd control heat. Speaking of crowd control and killer space lasers and all that stuff. So, guys, we're going to have Conspiracy Couch, not tomorrow, because I have like 8 appointments I have to go to in the city. So I can't do it tomorrow. But next Monday, which is the, next Monday, which is the 2nd of May, 10 p.m. Eastern, we are going to have Conspiracy Couch on the topic of targeted individuals, finally. So, I'm telling you guys this way ahead of time and making a point of saying something because we want all the TIs to call in. We want all the TIs to call in. We want to hear everybody's opinions, their experiences. We want everybody's input so we can kind of, get a feel for the situation and the whole dynamic. So, yes, targeted individuals, Conspiracy Couch, 10 p.m., May 2nd. Be there or be whatever, square. So there you have it. What else do we have? Pentagon affair drama. Bro.
Imagine that.
Bro. All right, so on that note, what do you think? Is it time to get her done or what?
Apparently.
Do you have anything to add? Do you have any more Subway videos of dudes doing the worm with holes in their crotch? I mean, for the Space Force News show? Or is that the only one? Are you sure? Is that the only one?
Come on, you guys thought it was great. Didn't you guys think it was great? I thought it was great. A lot of times, Alara thinks that the stuff that I think is funny is not funny. But you laughed too. Don't play like you didn't laugh. I heard you over there laughing.
Hey. And you know what's funny is you're always sending me the crow of judgment, right? But really kind of on the cool, I'm the crow of judgment. You know what I mean? Like, I can be kind of judgy sometimes.
You can be super judgy. However,
it's true.
I don't allow judgment goes whoop on me like water off a duck's back.
I only judge me though, really, for the most part. I'm super judgmental
I think that's
of myself.
Most of us are extremely judgmental of ourselves. I think we're all our own worst critic, But
I kind of let other people make it on the cool.
Judgment.
Like, I don't really trip on people, but I trip on me sometimes, for sure. That's definitely true. Hey, Desert Fire, good to see you. George Nada. What's going on, man? Hi, I see you out there, Hug a Pug. Any bets if Alara would name a child Megatron? My thinking is yes, probably.
Hey,
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm all for it.
It's a possibility. Thank God Alara will never have kids, so we'll never get to find out.
There's Zoom calls. So you can Zoom call in. You can show yourself or not, whatever you're comfortable with.
We could even run it through Discord if we wanted to, but then that's a whole nother dynamic, and not everybody's on Discord.
They love the video. Yeah, Discord's hard, man. That's effort. Like,
I mean, it's set up in it's the mixer set up to run it out of Discord. We could do it that way if we wanted to, but All right, so on that note, guys, let's. I think it's time to get it done, man.
Space Force.
Suki coming with the cookie. I love super judgy SFN. I love you, Suki. And Secret Weapon coming with the can. I appreciate you, gals. Thank you. We appreciate you so much. Yes. All right. So where did my highlighting go? This is a conspiracy, I feel like. This is a total conspiracy. I highlight the articles. I haven't shut anything off. I haven't touched a thing. And now the highlighting's gone. Bruh.
This is fine. I'm sure this will be fine.
You guys, what am I going to do? What's going on, Aaron? What's going on, UFO Mark? Good to see you.
Hi.
Man. All right, guys, I got to wing it. No choice, because my highlighter just doesn't want to work. So here we go. U.S. Space Force developing plans for tactically...
Yeah, hold on.
Oh,
hold
it
on.
says tactically.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Right
how are you
in
going
the
to tell
article.
me? It's right there. She's like, I don't know. Google wouldn't tell me. I'm like... Bruh.
It's the little things that get me, guys. You guys know that. It's the little things. As Congress pushes the Space Force to develop a responsive launch capability that can reconstitute assets quickly, the service is looking more broadly at how it can make its entire architecture more responsive. For the last 2 years, Congress has included language in the National Defense Authorization Act directing the Space Force to establish a tactically responsive space launch program and develop plans for how the service will execute the initiative. The Space Force has opted not to request funding for the effort, relying instead on congressional largesse?
Largesse?
Is that what that is? Congressional largesse, including a $50 million ad in the fiscal 2020,
2022?
The 2222.
That one.
I'm
That's the one.
I'm like an old 80s model robot that just shorts out sometimes. That's pretty much. Like, that's...
Like Max Headroom?
Yeah, like, it's getting really hot in here already. Why am I so hot? I don't know. What if I turn on this fan? It might get loud. I don't know. We're going to try that, though. You can zoom the screen by holding...
they tell me this every week for you. And I'm sorry. I always
Thank you,
mean to
Morty.
remember to tell you, and then I forget. Yeah, control and then scroll your mouse up and it'll make the words bigger.
Hold on. Let me try it. Control and then scroll your mouse up.
Like,
Whoa!
look at
Look, that!
Ta-da! I mean to tell you that every week.
Thank you, Canadian. Wow, that was a nifty trick. What's going on, Christina Fisher? Imperial Guardsman. What's going on? All right, so
hold on. Can I
Man, look
address
at
a
that.
theory real quick before
Yeah,
you
go
even
for
get
it.
into this? So
Yeah,
Frightening Me was talking about Biden is talking about making all of these green weapons, tanks, fighter jets and stuff, right? I have a theory on this. I saw an article the other day, and I didn't pull it for this, which I probably should have, but I didn't. In any case, about how they had successfully beamed electricity from one place to another object. My theory is, because I saw like people on Fox News joking about how are they going to have green tanks? Like, what happens when they run out of juice? Like, they're just going to be sitting dead in the field. Like, how is that supposed to work in combat? I think they're going to try and beam the energy to the weaponry, guys. Just so you know. Like how we talked on here the one week about how they were going to try and collect energy from the sun and beam it down to Earth.
there's all kinds of space, and if you'll notice, the space laser
Right.
topic is all over
But
the
this
shows and the
wasn't
articles
even-
today.
This wasn't even using the sun's. Like they posted this article like 2 days ago. They didn't even. It wasn't about using the sun's energy or anything. They just literally were able to beam electricity from one point to another point. They only made it about a kilometer, but I bet they're going to try and make this electric weaponry where they can receive beamed energy to keep running. That's my theory. Frightening Me. In any case.
Okay, so for the last 2 years, Congress has included language in the National Defense Authorization Act directing the Space Force to establish a tactically responsive space launch program and develop plans for how the service will execute the initiative. The Space Force has opted not to request funding for the effort, relying instead on congressional... I already read that paragraph.
Largesse.
And I still can't
Yes.
pronounce that word. Including
That's okay.
a $50 million ad in the fiscal 2222 year Omnibus Appropriations Act. The head of Space Systems Command, General Michael...
I can't see it.
Gootling, something like that, said today during the C4ISR net. I know I didn't say that right.
CaresNet?
CaresNet conference in Arlington, Virginia, that the service recognizes the need, but is still defining its plan for responsive launch and, more broadly, responsive space capabilities. We're trying to understand where we need rapid space capabilities and rapid space replenishment going forward, he said. Rather than just focusing on the launch problem, we're focusing on the entire launch to capability on orbit construct. The Space Force Space Safari Program Office. Have you ever heard of that before? I haven't.
Space Safari. I don't know.
What
That
is the
sounds
space?
fun.
That sounds fun. I want to go on a space safari.
Right? I don't know what it is, but it sounds great.
That sounds great. The Space Safari Program Office began running tactically responsive space launch missions in 2020 with the goal of developing and launching small satellites on a rapid timeline. Last year, the service launched its second tactically responsive launch mission using Northrop Grumman's Pegasus XL rocket to lift payloads into low Earth orbit from a modified Stargazer L-1011 aircraft in flight. Gutlin said the mission demonstrated the ability to respond to a requirement with a capability within 10 months, and the service is planning another TACRL mission for fiscal 2023 that he expects will drastically accelerate that capability. As the service prepares for the demonstration, it is working closely with its force design organization, the Space Warfighting Analysis Center, to better understand how tactically responsive space capabilities can be used to respond to urgent or wartime needs. Man, I can't believe my highlighting just went completely... Look, now it's back. Oh no, it went away! Right in front of everybody, see?
You clicked on something.
No,
You clicked on it.
I did not click on a thing. I clicked on nothing.
I saw
didn't
your
click on
cursor move and it just said, boop.
It did not. I didn't move it. You don't believe me, do you? Nobody believes me. Nobody believes me at all. What's up, Morning Flower?
No, ma'am. Right?
Well, as you can see, it was highlighted, and everybody knows. I'm not making it up, I'm not fibbing, telling the truth. U.S. Space Force Defense Squadron tasked to focus on deep space. It's interesting what they define as deep space, too. You know? The U.S. Space Force stood up the 19th Space Defense Squadron this month in Dahlgren, Virginia, to focus on cislunar space domain awareness. Lieutenant Colonel Matthew Lintker, the Force's Space Delta II, said during the April 20th, CARESnet conference?
Yeah.
Why did they put a 4 in there for the A?
I don't know. It looks like CARESnet, though. We'll go with that.
You want to just call it CARESnet, whether that's right or not? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
According to the squadron's Facebook page, the unit was stood up on April 6th and features an insignia of a kraken wrapped around the Space Force Delta symbol. NASA Space right?
I feel some decodes coming.
Right. Hey, is my pin still hanging on my Space Force flag? No. The Sydney Kraken pin. Never mind. We won't go into that right now.
Right.
Yeah, we won't go into that right now.
What up, US Anon?
Memories, man. Memories. NASA Space Systems Command and Space Force already have a close relationship when it comes to working on human spaceflight, including collision avoidance for the International Space Station and exploration of the cislunar domain. We're working with NASA, we're working with the Air Force Research Lab, Space Systems Command, to bring in all this expertise that's out there to improve space security and defense. The 19th Space Defense Squadron has been tasked to focus on cislunar sensors and systems that end up in that domain because they have capacity and bandwidth to focus on that, and that way it's not coming at the expense of all the other missions that I currently do today. Cislunar space is the area between geostationary orbit, which is more than 22,000 miles above the Earth's surface, and the Moon's orbit. The Defense Department has made a notable shift in its posture towards cislunar space in the last few years, from viewing potential deep space threats as part of a far-off future to recognizing that those threats may present much sooner, and the increased activity isn't just adversarial, but also commercial. You know, okay. The concerns and the kind of focus area we have from the military standpoint is that there's a huge interest that goes beyond geosynchronous orbit within not just China and Russia, but a whole host of people. And the reality is that when people extend beyond low Earth orbit, you get into there's military risk associated with that. The Space Force is increasing its effort and focus on better articulating that risk, he added. Speaking earlier this month at Mitchell Institute event, Chief of Space Operations General Raymond said he expects the Space Force will have a cislunar domain awareness capability on orbit within the next 5 to 10 years. The Air Force Research Laboratory recently said it planned to award a contract as soon as this summer for a new experiment on cislunar domain awareness to help the U.S. military observe and track objects that reside in that space between geostationary orbit and the moon. AFRL is soliciting bids to build a cislunar highway patrol system, also known as CHIPS, with an eye on the 2225 launch date. No crow of judgment, Foil. No crow of judgment.
Yeah. Why don't you just say like 2025 or like you always your tendency is immediately 2220.
Don't know why I have brain injury. I don't know why it does what it does sometimes. You know, it made me dyslexic too. I was never dyslexic my whole life, but I'm dyslexic now. All of a sudden, it's very strange. I go to type things to people and it comes out the beginning at the end and the end at the beginning. It's very strange, but I've had to adapt to it. I'm not going to let it slow me down. That's for sure. So
there you go.
I'm just going to move through it. Everybody gets to laugh at me, so it works out. You know what I'm saying? I'm totally fine with that. All right. VP Kamala Harris visits Vandenberg, announces end to U.S. anti-satellite mission tests. So do we want to listen to this woman? Because I just, it's painful. It's super painful. But here we go. Oh, my Lord.
Today was a great and historic day for our country.
That's not it. It's got to be down here. That's totally not it. Where did it go? The video is here. I don't know where it went.
Lotus Poet says you've just lost interest in linear communications.
Lotus Poet said that. She knows stuff too. She gets it. I don't know. Like, it's weird, guys. It coincided kind of with my spiritual awakening too. Like, I just got, my brain stopped being able to do things here. Like, technical things, just very, like she said, very linear sort of, it just can't do it anymore. And, I've had to fight really hard to be able to, and I don't know, I mean, anybody, feel free to share with me, but anybody else that spent a lot of time meditating, I spent a year or two meditating 3 hours a day. And I didn't, after I woke up and I had that spiritual awakening that I went through. So I don't know if spending all that time meditating just made it worse or has anything to do with it. But after that, I had to fight to relearn how to use a computer and how to use a phone, all that kind of stuff that everybody sort of knows how to do, but I didn't anymore know how to do any of it. So yeah, it's been kind of a struggle, man. Definitely kind of a struggle. All right, let's see. During a visit to Vandenberg Space Force Base, I can't find the video. Space Force Base on Monday, Vice President Kamala Harris announced the United States will no longer test anti-satellite missiles.
She's so full of it. Come on, man. They are not. Yeah, they're not going to test them because we've got the technology now, and they don't need to test anything anymore. It's up there. Like, she says that like we're doing something.
Maybe the ship did this to me. We've been on these topics lately about these. I don't know. But something happened. You know what I mean?
Oh, you mean like injury from the ship?
Yes. From having contact that close with a ship like that. I don't know.
Maybe.
But because I was having issues before that, but then these were a whole different sort of separate set of issues. So I don't know. Maybe. I mean, who knows? Anti-satellite missiles, calling the practice reckless and irresponsible. Simply put, these tests are dangerous and we will not conduct them, Harris said in front of an assembled crowd of close to 200 Space Force service members. Isn't she like what is she now? The Space Force what? This is, bruh. What is she?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They put her in charge of all kinds of random shenanigans.
Why did they put her in charge of anything? I don't
know if
especially the.
I don't know if she's in charge.
Here we are. It happened. He's in office and she is the Space Force. I don't know. It's crazy. This is like an alternate reality. I wonder what's going to happen when they turn on the Large Hadron Collider again.
I don't know, but I see a better article.
Out of this reality into a better one.
They turned it on Friday. Like, they already turned it on. We're still stuck here, right? I found a better article. Russia's Putin and China's Xi laugh at space cadet Kamala Harris. I should have pulled that one.
Oh, why? Yeah, why aren't we talking about that?
I don't know. Yeah. It must have been pretty. Her little speech was mocked worldwide.
I told you I wouldn't even be able to get through this. Just having to look at her over and over. She
said space is exciting. That's what she told them. Like, come on, man. It affects us all. It connects us all.
Oh, that speech.
Yeah, that's what she said. Right?
All right. We are the first nation to make such a commitment, she said. And today, on behalf of the United States of America, I call on all nations to join us. Whether a nation is spacefaring or not, we believe this will benefit everybody, just as space benefits everyone. Yeah, so we'll leave that go. We'll move on here because that's what we're going to do. Executive decision. The King of Mars. You know, it's funny. I totally just played the bumper for SpaceX, and yeah, I still have one more Space Force article. But that's fine. So yeah, we're fine. Still got one. All right. So Chief Architect of Space Force resigns after 3 years, issues big warning. We should be defending our country. A top Pentagon official resigned this week and warned that the United States is losing its edge in the global race for technical superiority. Preston Dunlap, who had been the founding chief architect officer of the U.S. Air Force and Space Force since 2019, announced his resignation on Monday in a lengthy LinkedIn note in which he urged the Department of Defense to stop being complacent. Dunlap's job was created during the tenure of former President Donald Trump, who established the Space Force in 2019 as the sixth branch of the U.S. Armed Forces. In his letter detailing his playbook for fortifying national defense, he exhorted the United States to not lull ourselves into complacency when we should be running on all cylinders. Dunlap also warned against defending our turf when we should be defending our country and competing with each other when we should be competing with China. At one point, the outgoing Space Force says, how do you pronounce that? CZAR?
Czar.
Czar? Okay. At one point, the outgoing Space Force czar blasted the Defense Department's arcane bureaucracy, which he says inhibits innovation and stifles progress. Dunlap recalled how, on his first day at work, I arrived to find no budget, no authority, no alignment of vision, no people, no computers, no networks, a leaky ceiling, even a broken curtain. He added, ironically, I'm writing this. I received notification that the phone lines are down at the Pentagon IT help desk. Phone lines are down. It's 2022, folks. Let that sink in. 3 days ago, the phone lines were down at the Pentagon, the command post for U.S. national defense. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden...
much better now. All right, I feel so secure.
Meanwhile, President Joe Biden just signed legislation to send an additional $13.6 billion in aid to bolster Ukraine's national defense. In his note, Dunlap referred to the U.S. government as the world's largest bureaucracy and essentially rebuked it as a defunct dinosaur. By the time the government manages to produce something, it's too often obsolete. No business would ever survive this way, nor should it. So his resignation letter echoed the sentiments of former Pentagon official Nicholas Chalin, who quit and protested September 2021 after expressing frustration with America's lagging technological competitiveness. So yeah, this is a problem, man. This is a problem. A lot of disgruntled people.
That might be somebody worth trying to talk to.
This gentleman? Correct. Mm-hmm. Absolutely correct, Foyle. Yes. For sure. All right, let's see. King of Mars. Now we're actually moving on to the King of Mars. Elon Musk takes shot at Netflix after it suffers rare drop in subscribers. Yeah, Elon Musk bashed Netflix on Tuesday evening following news that the streaming service lost 200,000 subscribers in the first quarter of 2022. The woke mind virus is making Netflix unwatchable, the billionaire CEO of SpaceX and Tesla tweeted. Musk didn't specify which Netflix films or TV shows sparked this opinion. The term woke is often used as a pejorative by conservative and far-right commentators engaging in culture wars over the values depicted in modern entertainment. You know what I think is interesting? How they call us far-right and I'm a libertarian. I would say most of the people that I know and interact with are libertarians. But how do libertarians get lumped in?
Because the Overton window has moved so far to the left that anybody that was even like, middle
of the road,
moderate left, anybody that was is now, an extremist. It's right. Crazy. These people are crazy, man.
Lotus Poet said phone lines are down. That's very interesting. Yeah, that's pretty bizarre, man. Netflix announced a drop in subscribers earlier on Tuesday. The streaming service said it expects to shed 2 million more paying customers during the 3-month span from April to June. Netflix stock dropped 35% on Wednesday following the news. In a letter to shareholders, Netflix listed interrelated factors it believes are slowing growth. These included the streaming sector's dependency on the adoption of broadband, password sharing among subscribers, and the arrival of new streaming services in recent years, such as Disney Plus, Apple TV Plus, and HBO Max. Netflix also blamed macro factors, including rising inflation and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Netflix suspended its services in Russia in early March. Netflix didn't respond to a request for comment. With more than 82 million followers, Musk is one of the most followed people on Twitter, which he recently offered to buy. He's extremely vocal on the platform and has made provocative statements in the past. He sure has.
Netflix got hammered. And it's crazy because somebody had
people are
pulled a
done.
tweet.
People are waking up, man. They just are waking up, and they don't want nothing to do with anybody who...
There was a tweet from Netflix, I want to say in like 2010. Somebody had found it and pulled it. I forget what I was watching. But they were literally telling people that, like, it's all love to share your password. And now they're crying that people have been sharing their passwords. They lost billions of dollars in capital the other day. Like, just vanished,
Good. I hope they go out of business.
They're in trouble. They're in trouble. I don't know if they'll go out of business, but they're
so
definitely...
are the news. I mean, so are the news outlets. They're people are getting it. People are waking up, man. Like, it's it's just gonna keep happening, in my humble opinion. And so it's it's just what's gonna happen. Thank you, Suki, for the cookie. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Mama.
Right? Like, that's what I'm thinking, Stacks. Like, he's going after Twitter. He's going to buy Netflix, too. Like, he's just going to buy up all these organizations that are out to get us. You know what I mean? And our children. All right. So, SpaceX shut down a Russian electromagnetic warfare attack in Ukraine last month, and the Pentagon is taking notes. Russia's halting efforts to conduct electromagnetic warfare in Ukraine show how important it is to quickly respond and immediately shut down such attacks, Pentagon experts said on Wednesday. But the U.S. needs to get much better at its own EW rapid response, they said. But isn't Elon Musk's response our response? Because really, he's a contractor for Space Force. So when Elon Musk responds to something and does something, he's really doing it for us. That's what he's doing. Yeah, but which us, right? Because we have this one element of people that look like they're in control right now, but are they really? You know what I mean? It doesn't seem that way sometimes. That's for sure. You know what I mean?
I don't think anybody's in control. I think we're just spinning out. Like, I don't think anybody knows where this ship is going. I really don't. I don't think there's anybody at the bridge. Like, we're just swoop out there,
Inflation is wild, man. Like, I just look around me sometimes, like, and I go, how long is it going to take?
I was just talking about your $11 bag of nuts on Friday.
$11 for a bag of nuts. Like, for a little snack bag of nuts at the gas station, it's $5. And I know people can't keep this up between the gas and the food prices and rent skyrocketing, all of housings. There's no way people can keep this up. At a point, they're going to break. And now with this all-out assault on our food supply,
Yeah.
At one point, is it just going to, I don't know how much people can take.
16 fires at food production plants in the past couple of weeks and 2 random airplane crashes. Like, I don't know. It's just wild. Just wild stuff, man.
You know what trips me out too, while we're on the topic of airplane crashes, MH360 or whatever, that plane, it trips me out that an entire plane disappeared mid-flight. And nobody seems to really, it's just like the UFOs, like, nobody seems to really be startled by that. That an airplane just disappeared.
Or did they find pieces of that? Or did they never solve that?
I've watched all kinds of shows about it, and there's never been like a definitive. I have an intuitive hit. I'm not going to go into it, but I have an intuitive hit about what happened to that plane. I always have, right? But
What was the Stephen King what was the Stephen King movie about the airplane that?
I don't know.
Somebody help me out here.
I don't know. I never saw it.
Something with an L, maybe. Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. Somebody in the chat help me out here. What was the Stephen King airplane? And they went into this like weird alternate dimension.
I have no
Somebody
idea.
will come with
Well, I have no idea. But speaking of alternate dimensions and airplanes, Lost was cool. You know, I was totally into that show. I will admit it.
Lost.
I
Was pretty
binge
good,
watched
yeah.
Lost. How many people out in the chat binge watched Lost? Put a 1 in the chat if you binge watched Lost, all of it.
Wait, you binge watched something? The Langoliers.
dude.
Thank you, Canadian. The Langoliers.
Oh, the
That's
Langoliers. I think I had that boat.
Yeah,
that
I knew it
book
was something
back
with an
then.
L. That was weird. Yeah, that was weird, right? Yeah, everybody. Yeah, thank you guys.
The Langoliers. Thanks,
It was
guys.
gonna drive me nuts. I knew it was an L. I just couldn't.
Yeah, I
couldn't
was
think of the
totally
word.
into Lost. I wonder if it'd have the same effect now that I'm like, if I should binge. I don't have time to binge watch Lost. I don't, truthfully. But it sounds like a good idea, like doing it a second time.
I love binge watching things.
It was cool. Yeah, we've got a few people in the chat that say they binge watched Lost. How did you only see one part of one episode? That show completely sucked me in. I was just lost after that for a while. No pun intended. All right, where were we? Okay. So it says we can learn a lot from how the private sector has handled these situations, which is what threw me into, right, Elon is, they're calling it the private sector, but
The
really...
private sector.
Right. So, Director of the Air Force's, General Tad Clark, Director of the Air Force's Electromagnetic Spectrum Superiority Directorate, said modern wars will increasingly involve electromagnetic warfare, particularly to shape the battlefield when conflicts begin. Dave Temper, Director of Electronic Warfare for the Office of the Secretary of Defense, pointed to SpaceX's ability last month to swiftly stymie a Russian effort to jam its Starlink satellite broadband service. I don't remember hearing about this at the time, which was keeping Ukraine connected to the internet. Oh, that's why Homeboy put the call out to Elon, because they were being jammed.
Yes.
SpaceX founder Elon Musk steered thousands of Starlink terminals to Ukraine after an official sent him a tweet asking for help keeping the besieged country online. The next day, after reports about the Russian jamming effort hit the media, Starlink had slung a line of code and fixed it, Tremper said. And suddenly, that Russian jamming attack was not effective anymore. From the EW technologist's perspective, that is fantastic, and how they did that was eye-watering to me. The government, on the other hand, has a significant timeline to make those types of corrections as it muddles through analysis of what happened, decides how to fix it, and gets a contract in place to fix it. We need to be able to have that agility, Temper said. We need to be able to change our electromagnetic posture to be able to change very dramatically what we're trying to do with losing capability along the way. Redundancy is also critical so that the U.S. could keep operating on another system if an EW attack succeeded at knocking one out. The U.S. needs to think a lot more innovatively when it comes to building a new EW equipment, Clark said. It won't be enough to just buy upgraded versions of legacy systems, he said. The U.S. has to come up with new systems that allow for much greater resilience and speed. This includes incorporating artificial intelligence and machine learning into next-generation systems to be able to respond faster, he said. Increased use of digital engineering can also help the military model new equipment with a computer and work out the kinks before going through the time-consuming typical acquisition and testing process. Clark said that the Air Force's in-development Compass Call, the EC-37B, is a prime example of how digital engineering is transforming how the service approaches new electromagnetic warfare capabilities. Software coders and engineers are working with Compass Call operators on the ground to figure out creative ways to jam enemy signals. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has taught the U.S. a great deal about the sophistication and reliability of Russian equipment, they said, and their troops' ability to carry out missions in a synchronized way. Yeah, buddy. All right, so let's see. What do we have now? Musk to explore potential tender offer for Twitter, has $46.5 billion in committed financing for the deal. Elon Musk is exploring whether to commence a tender offer for Twitter, according to a new securities filing. In an updated filing published Thursday, Musk said that given the lack of response from Twitter's board, he is now exploring a tender offer to purchase some or all shares of the company directly from its stockholders. The filing says Musk has received commitments for $46.5 billion to help finance the potential deal. Musk has secured about $25.5 billion in debt financing through Morgan Stanley senior funding and other firms that he said he has committed about $21 billion in equity financing. The other participating firms are Bank of America, Barclays, MUFG, Societe Generale, Mizuho, Mizuho Bank, and BNP Paribas. Musk has not yet determined if he will make a tender offer for Twitter or whether he will take other steps to further the proposal. A Twitter spokesman confirmed the company received Musk's proposal. All right, so that kind of covers that topic. What else do we have left? Okay, so boring. Elon Musk's boring company raises $675 million to accelerate its tunnel digging under cities. Elon Musk's Boring Company announced that it has raised $675 million in a new funding round, valuing the company at $5.675 billion. It plans to use the funds. It plans to use the funds to build many new boring machines and dig tunnels under more cities.
Awesome.
So, all right. So here's the loop. Here's the Vegas loop. So this is the first one that's up and running right now.
Elon Musk's Boring Company has opened its first fully operational loop, a 1.7-mile long tunnel 40 feet below the streets of Las Vegas. Built around the Las Vegas Convention Center, the loop is designed to transport passengers between 3 stops using a fleet of 62 Teslas. And when it's up and running, it can move up to 4,400 people an hour. It's not autonomous. When you jump into your Model X or Model 3, there's still a human behind the wheel. And even when you get into the LED lit tunnels, the cars don't go above 35 miles an hour.
Where's the rave, man?
It's still early days
know,
for the
right?
Vegas Loop, but it does have
not
its
interesting.
advantages. I must say, it's just so good
looked a
to
lot
be
more fun last
inside
time.
with the AC on because it is like 100 degrees outside, and I really do not
on,
feel
man.
like walking
I thought there
a
was gonna be
mile around the
music
actual
and-
convention center.
Dancing robots and lasers and stuff. I don't understand what happened here.
There should be, right?
This is not right.
I could get used to like
totally
a
not
Goldwing
impressed.
Tesla just driving me around wherever I want to go.
Look, King of Mars, we're going to need lasers. We're going to need robots. We're going to need music.
Right.
I mean, we were promised a tunnel rave, were we not? This doesn't look like a
Right.
tunnel rave to me.
The Boring
Smoke
Company has
machines.
been around for about 5 years now. It all began with a tweet from Elon Musk complaining about traffic. In the early days, it was pitched as a way of solving.
That's it. That's enough. That's enough. But I thought we were going to get a rave. I don't understand.
Was that
what's
thing? Are
going on
they
here.
just coming up out of the streets there? Is that what's going on?
I guess so. Yeah. See the. Oh, look at that, man. Hold on. We got to check this out real quick. Are they really?
Wait a minute. Look at that.
Solving
That's what it
gridlock
looked like.
by building a massive
Yeah, look.
network of underground tunnels spanning entire cities.
Okay.
Passengers
Well, that's
could
kinda
drive their
nifty.
car onto an elevator platform the size
But it has to be a Tesla, right? Oh, we should probably listen. Let's just listen.
of a parking space and descend underground before zooming away. Boring even teased concept videos of transport
Oh.
pods designed
Oh,
to
you
ferry
gotta
up
ride
to
in
16
the
people
elevator.
Oh,
at
you
speeds
get a ride
of
in the little robot
150
car.
miles an hour.
What happens if somebody hacks the robot cars, man?
Cataclysm.
Come on.
We were promised rides from downtown LA to LAX in 8 minutes, all for just $1. But building a massive tunnel system has its challenges. The 12-foot wide tunnel
Man.
has to be dug out, inch by inch,
They're going to have to kick the reptiles out if they want to do all that, you know? It's going to be
Right.
a real problem.
with a tunnel boring machine, essentially a massive drill. Elon Musk unveiled the first of these tunnels in late 2018 in California, but the Vegas Loop is the first one open to the public, though you'll still need to be attending a convention to ride it. The Boring Company's pitch is to have tunnels like these in cities across the United States, bringing
All right, Dave Scott. Dave Scott, Spaced Out Radio people, they're all in Vegas right now, so go ride the tunnel rave and tell us how it is. If
Right.
you can. If any of you are hearing us.
Boo. If I can't
yeah.
take my truck in the tunnels, what's the point?
Right? Man. All right, so moving on from tunnel raves to defense, my friends. Here we go. All right, Foil.
Yeah, buddy.
Black pill time, man.
Right. So I don't know if you remember, but we talked last year about China's version of Davos, right? They've got the Boao Forum of Asia, where they get together and it's their own little cabal, right? Well, it happened again. Obviously, it happens every year. President Xi gave an interesting speech over there, proposing a new global security initiative that he says will prevent future conflicts, right? So we know that Russia's standoff with the West has become like a proxy battle of political systems, right? And not just a proxy battle between the US and Russia, but between the West and their alternative world order, right? Like I said, it's two world order. This is they're fighting alternating global forms of governance. This isn't just like they're over there fighting for truth and love, right? So she gets up and he gives a speech, and he's talking about clearly backing Moscow, but basically that the United States is leading this hegemonic, very unfair to the rest of the world global system. He says we humanity are living in an indivisible security community. It's been proven time and again that the Cold War mentality would only wreck the global peace framework. That hegemonism and power politics will endanger world peace, and that this bloc confrontation, right? That like NATO is a defense bloc, that by countries blocking up, ganging up on other groups of countries, that this is going to cause a problem, right? So he gave a 6-point initiative for sustainable security, which oddly enough, he talks about upholding sovereignty, which is funny because they're trying to go in on Taiwan. They talk about territorial integrity, as Russia is violating Ukraine's territorial integrity, and non-interference in internal affairs. They also talk about respect for the policy choices of every nation, while they're trying to stop countries like Finland and Sweden from joining NATO. Like, everything that they say is also a lie. Like, this is why I don't trust any of them. They all get up there and they lie. They talk outside of their neck while they're totally doing something different in the background, right? They talk about respecting every country's unique socio-political system, and then they stand for none of it. They literally stand for none of it. And then he had the audacity to get up there and try to invoke the UN Charter and call on all countries to reject the Cold War mentality, to oppose unilateralism, and to say no to group politics and bloc confrontation. Right. Thanks, Shanjo, for the cookies.
Thank you, Tamgarao. Thank you for the cookie.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you for the cookie as well. And thank you, Shanjo. Go ahead, Foil. Sorry.
Yeah. So no, it's all right. So as they're giving this speech, go ahead and click on the next article about respecting, territorial integrity and not doing block, being definitely against countries ganging up on other countries. China goes in and signs a security deal with the Solomon Islands, which is nice. It's like, I'm telling you, they talk one way and then they're just turned around doing something totally different. So a secret agreement that basically expands Chinese influence over the Solomon Islands has now been signed. It's official. This is really making Australia very nervous. Okay, so China and the Solomon Islands have been negotiating a security agreement which could allow Beijing to send military and police personnel to its new Pacific ally and base naval vessels on the island. Right? We're still going to have to wait to see how this plays out. They've been promising Australia, because Australia was one of their primary partners in the region until this happened. Now there is a great amount of nervousness in the area. Right. Nobody knows how this is going to play out. But I mean, this is all out in the open now. They signed the agreement. Like I said, if China starts basing naval vessels at the Solomon Islands, this could be a huge problem in the Indo-Pacific region.
Rising. Good to see you, friend. Go ahead, Paul.
Hi. Yeah. According to different diplomatic sources and analysts, the China Solomon Islands Security Pact was just completely shrouded in secrecy. It took diplomats and government officials, even some of the Solomon Island government officials, by total surprise. And it's basically left the West scrambling to try and block Chinese influence in the region. So I don't know. But I just think it's funny that as she is up talking about respecting, you know, everybody's independence and not trying to create blocks, defense blocks specifically, they are in fact doing the same thing.
Hey, tell them about the videos on Twitter. This is why I need a Twitter account, man. You see stuff that I don't see. Tell them about the videos in Shanghai.
Oh, the people, man. Hi, Phil Christophers. Thank you. Black Pill, the nature break. We will win in the end. Yeah, we're gonna. I promise. We got some good nature breaks for you today. After we get done with all this depressing shiz. Yeah. So Shanghai is wild, right? They locked down in the middle of March. They were supposed to be out of lockdown by April 5th. Hasn't happened. Okay. People are starving to death, and there were videos coming out of Shanghai. People screaming from their high rises, and then the drones coming with messages like, you know, you need to resist your soul's urge for freedom. Like, bro, I wish you would come tell me some smack like that. Like, come on, man. You know, I mean, there are videos coming out, people freaking out, making runs on stores. I mean, you know, if they can get out of their apartment buildings, you know, they're running on stores trying to get food. They formed these like collectives. I did see, before we went live, I did see a few articles where they were talking about trying to prioritize the reopening of 666 businesses in Shanghai. You know, Shanghai has the world's biggest port. Over 1/5 of our of the world's total container ships are currently stuck in Shanghai right now, loaded with goods that can't get unloaded, can't be reloaded. I mean, our supply chain is mucked up right now. So they've prioritized 666 businesses that they're trying to get reopened. Primarily, they're talking about auto manufacturers, people that are manufacturing different tech, chip producers, to try and get that stuff up and running and to get it out as quickly as they can. But until they stop with this zero COVID nonsense, and until they reopen the port, they can prioritize all the businesses they want. And it's not going to go anywhere. We're still going to be screwed in the end. You know, it's just a wild, you know, it's a wild state of affairs right now.
Yeah, I remember back when Homeboy got in office. I remember being in shock for a few months, right? And it's just because you knew the moment that happened, it was going to get weird really quick. And it sure did. We had the withdrawal right after that. We had, you know, now we've got the situation with Ukraine and Russia, and it's like, what's next?
Yeah,
know?
I didn't pull the article because I saw it too late. But speaking of Ukraine, apparently we're sending Anthony Blinken and Lloyd Austin over there today. They were supposed to go to Ukraine. You know, Zelensky keeps trying to get Biden to put his ass in Kyiv, and you know, he's not going to do that. I don't care what he says. He's not going to do that. But he sent Blinken and Austin over there to go talk with Zelensky today. So I don't know how that went. I didn't see, you know, I haven't really had time. I was cooking, cleaning, and doing Sunday things to look into that today. But I mean,
it's just,
you know,
crazy.
I mean,
okay,
you're sending our top guys into a war zone, like, all right.
It's just crazy.
All right.
You just don't even know what's coming next, you know, and with the level of technology that's being disclosed to the public, to the people now, to the public, to the mainstream, is scary in and of itself, let alone the stuff that's not being disclosed, you know? And unfortunately, at this point, that high technology is still in the hands of very evil people on this planet. So
yes, shepherding shepherds, 666 businesses.
And who knows what's coming next. All right, Russia tests nuclear-capable missile that Putin says will give its enemies pause.
Right, speaking of what might be coming next. So Russia has successfully tested its new ICBM, its new intercontinental ballistic missile, that says it would give countries that threaten Moscow something to think about, right? I want to say this is the one they were referring to as the Satan II. I could be wrong on that. But in any case, they showed this on Russian television. Putin boasted that the missile is capable of overcoming any anti-missile defense systems. Okay? And it carries a huge payload.
What did Kamala just say about that too? In that article that we really didn't cover?
Oh, the one about, well, she said we're not going to be testing anti-satellite capability. We already have it. Right. But I mean, she wants to get up there and say, like, it's irresponsible. There'll be, pieces of satellites everywhere. We're creating more space junk. Like it's a thing. We already have that tech. But the problem is, like if that's true, that this is capable of overcoming any sort of Western anti-missile defense systems, that's a problem. And then, like I said, it's huge. Now, the thing is, apparently Russia did notify the Pentagon prior to the test, which is what you're supposed to do. If you're gonna be testing some sort of new weapon, you're supposed to notify your peers before that happens, which they did. Said it was a routine test. It was not a threat, but it's awfully funny that you guys are testing new nukes, new ICBMs, that could potentially carry nuclear payloads in the middle of a war. Like that, you're definitely trying to send a message, man. There was nothing routine about that. It is it's the Sarmat missile, right? The longest range of destruction of targets in the world, right? So this is the longest range missile in the world that now can allegedly defeat any kind of anti-missile defense.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Which is crazy. Yeah. There's nothing. That's great. Nothing to worry about there. Nothing at all. And then for our last depressing news for the evening.
Jeez. All right.
Right?
Satellite photos show possible mass graves.
Yes, near Mariupol. Satellite images that were released this past week showed what they believe are ginormous mass graves. Officials have now accused Russia of burying up to 9,000 Ukrainian civilians there. I mean, the port city's been under siege, right? Maxar Technologies is the one that had produced these images. They said that they saw them continuing to expand these mass graves, that they were literally using bulldozers just to doze bodies into these giant ditches. I mean, there was a slaughter there. It said that they had photos of more than 200 mass graves in Mariupol, which is crazy. They could hold as many as 9,000 dead, they said. I don't know. It's wild. That's why I said, like, there are no good guys here. Man, there are no good guys here.
There's good guys left in the world.
Not over there. Not in this conflict is what I mean. I mean, the people in charge, there are no good guys in charge. Man, everybody's crazy. I'm convinced. They're nuts.
All right. And on that note.
Right.
Nature break.
Let's see what we got here.
Which one is this? Oh yeah, this is so cute.
Aw.
Yeah, they were bonding. They were window bonding. Look, it's so interested in the little baby.
It's a hairless version of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be interesting to them.
Hand.
That's
right.
Cool. Wow, that's cool. That's wild. That's cool.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah, that's cool. All right, let's see. What do we got up next? Testing captive wild animals' reactions at newly opened Sydney Zoo.
Oh, this is wild.
Robotic dogs that terrify humans. Okay.
Yes, this one is wild.
This is interesting. I got to see this.
The other two are funny, but this is wild. You got to pull us down.
Oh, hold on. How come there's no sound? We can't hear. How come we can't hear?
I don't know.
What's going on?
I don't think there was sound on this one.
Hold on. Let me go back to the beginning.
Them horrible things.
Oh, it is not having none of that. Look.
No.
Mm-mm.
Look. He tried to run up on him like.
Robot wars. Look at this. Organic versus non-organic.
Yeah, those animals
Gladiator.
are not.
Oh, that lion does not like it at all.
They're like,
it's like,
the
what is
hell?
this?
Right.
Oh, they don't even know what to think. Look at them. They do not even know what to think about that.
They want to use these to interact with the animals. Like,
oh,
come on,
man. It's ridiculous. He's like, that thing's quick, whatever it is.
Right? Look, can be used to engage and interact. Like,
come on, man.
I don't know about
Animals
that.
aren't having none of that.
They are not a fan.
The robot takeover is near, Foil. It's near.
I'm telling you.
Oh, they already
Robot
got him yelling at people in airports and all that. It's crazy.
Right? Did you see the video with the robot dogs? They got mounted guns.
No.
They mounted the guns on them.
Where's
Oh
this?
my god! I didn't pull it for this. It wasn't a nature break, but I'll have to show you. They mounted big ass guns on them stupid dogs.
What's going on here?
Oh, this is hysterical. Wait, this is
like
great.
Bug.
What?
You sound like my kitty. Bye. Oh god.
Oh man!
Running like.
Does the deer think it's a game or what? I gotta see that again.
Apparently.
Oh, that poor kid
Right.
is traumatized.
I know. Like that deer was like F you specifically.
Yeah, why was that deer like?
Thanks,
like-
Sean Joe, for the cookies.
Why
I
won't
don't
it
know.
play
It just
now?
picked her out and went after her.
Why won't it play now? Hold on, I gotta get it to play again. Here we go. It won't play. Or maybe if I reload.
You got a
it.
replay video? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but if I reload it, what'll happen?
Mm,
Is it gonna reload the whole bar or just that one?
I don't know.
Oops, I guess we're about to find out. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
What's wrong? What is it? You sound like Bug. You sound like my kitty.
Oh, that deer has a personal problem with that kid.
He's a little girl.
It just scoped her out and charged her and chased her down all the way across the thing.
Yeah, it chases her all
Oh, that
around
poor
the
little
park.
girl. She's like, what did I do to deserve this? I just wanted to give you an apple. That's not
Right.
cool. That's a disturbing
That was-
nature break, Foil. It's terrible.
No, that
what do
was
we got
funny.
here?
This was funny too.
There's no sound?
Like he thinks he's helping. I thought there was.
Oh, terrible. Hold on. Oh, that's terrible. What's the snake going after? Oh, we don't know.
We don't know.
He's like, I got it. I got it. Thinks he's a
Right,
badass.
I got you.
I got
Don't
you.
even drop his beer. Right, throws it right on.
Right. That's terrible. Hey, I need one of those little raft things. That thing looks cool. I
Hey,
mean,
wait,
not
keep watching.
anywhere around here
Wait,
because there's
wait.
alligators.
That
But,
snake goes
Oh, no,
right
no,
for
there's
these other
more?
people.
like, screw these humans. You know what I
Like,
mean?
what is this? That poor snake is like, what the hell? Like, he don't even drop his beer. He just whips it.
He thought he was saving the day. And then he
Uh-huh.
ruined his buddy's day. That's great.
Right.
This guy's like, I'm in the clear. I'm in the boat. Everything's fine. You know?
Right.
Oh,
He's
maybe
going
not.
Straight. Right. They're like, no.
Oh, it's great. Is that it? We don't have
Right.
any more nature breaks?
No,
We should just
that
do
was
a
it.
whole. We should just do a whole night of watching
Nature
nature
break.
break. Nature
Yeah,
break night. Just watch nature breaks all night.
I'm a fan
as
of
many
that
as we
idea.
can find, right?
Right.
All right, guys.
Science!
Jurassic Park mosquitoes.
Yeah, buddy. These are Bill Gates Oxitec mosquitoes. You remember how we talked about when they released them in Brazil and it didn't quite work out the way they wanted it to work out, and it ended up breeding super mosquitoes that, like, basically just wouldn't die, and they super proliferated. Well, they're claiming they got that fixed now. So they had released those same mosquitoes in the Keys in Florida, right? They released 5 million of these genetically modified mosquitoes, and the pilot study has now concluded. They're calling them Jurassic Park mosquitoes. Obviously, these are genetically engineered, right? They take a bit of an altered genome. They take altered DNA and they inject it into the eggs. And the goal is to pass on a trait to the female mosquitoes, which are the ones that bite. They pass them on to the female mosquitoes so that they don't live to maturity. And when they breed, that gene gets passed on, and those offspring don't live to maturity. So it's supposed to slowly control the number of mosquitoes that are in the natural environment. Now, where they released them at, I mean, this, what is it, Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, I think. This is not the primary mosquito in the Florida Keys, but they did a limited study. They released these 5 million mosquitoes down there, and apparently the females did die off this time. They're thinking that it could lead them to being able to control different pathogens. I mean, obviously we know mosquitoes pass disease. I don't trust anything that Bill Gates has his hands in. So, yeah, the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes. Those are the ones. Those are the right. That was the right one. Yeah, I don't know. They think that they're going to be able to control the spreading of malaria and other mosquito-borne diseases this way. Yes, Zika, Tamgrau, allegedly. So now that they've done this little bit in the Keys, they need a bigger playground. So they're petitioning to release them in more states to see what happens. But I don't know.
It's always such a good idea to, go ahead.
Yeah, to genetically modify
things. I don't know. Just release genetically modify God's creatures, God's food, God's medicine, and then just release it into the population.
Yeah, let's just see what happens. Yeah, apparently it caused a 95% reduction in that particular mosquito in that area. But like I said, it was very limited. They couldn't, for whatever reason, they didn't breed out far enough. Like, I think they only went to like 3 generations out before they all died off or whatever. So now Bill Gates will try to apply it to people. Isn't he already?
That guy. Oh, that
allegedly. Guy. Algorithms, allegedly. Right.
Man. All right. So moving on to the mRNA technology and heart attacks.
So, all right. I know this is not going to be a popular opinion, but this actually sounds kind of cool. All right. I'm not saying that I trust it, but this is interesting. Okay. So what they did was they used mRNA tech to actually cure the damage that was done by a heart attack. All right. Like a heart attack, your heart, after you have a heart attack, your heart is not able to repair itself. All right. You end up with tissue damage and scarring, and it's just there, and your heart is perpetually weakened. So scientists at King's College of London have been able to, they've tracked genetic codes. They use the mRNA to produce proteins to actually regenerate healthy heart cells. Okay, it could lead to the world's first cure for heart attack victims, to actually put the heart back in its original state, or in a better state than what it was when the person had the heart attack. Professor Mauro Giacca said, we're all born with a set number of muscle cells in our heart, and they are exactly the same ones that we die with. The heart has no capacity to repair itself after a heart attack. Their goal was to find a treatment that could convince surviving cells to actually proliferate. So they have been able to now prove that they have regenerated a damaged human heart with this technology. They're using the same technology they said that Pfizer and Moderna used to inject microRNAs into the heart.
Similar technology was used to create the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines.
Well, he says that they inject the RNA into the heart, it reaches surviving heart cells and causes them to proliferate. The new cells actually replace the dead ones, and instead of there being a scar, the patient has new muscle tissue. They're also thinking that they could manipulate the same tech. In addition to help the heart regenerate, they could create a treatment to stop cells from dying during a heart attack. You know,
I'm gonna have to watch and see how this plays out. I mean, you know how I feel, and I guarantee you most of the audience feels a similar way. But I'm gonna be interested to see how this plays. I'm all done with, you know, I'm all done with them injecting anything into me, really.
I totally get it. I totally get it.
You know, but it'll be interesting to watch these human trials.
They tested this on pigs, and it worked. So they're going to do human trials in the next couple of years. I mean, you know, pig organs are very similar to our own organs. They're even used, you know, they interchangeable. That's why they're doing all this genetic engineering with pigs, trying to grow human organs. Like,
of course, the technology can be used to benefit people in some way. It can be used to, you know, just like any other technology. Basically, it can be used to hurt or to help. You know, it all depends on who it's in the hands of. You know, but, you know, as for me, I'll be taking no injections, even if it promises me a new heart. You know, I'll take my chances with what God gave me. That's just how I feel. But that's me. You know, but it's going to be interesting to see these human trials and see how this plays out and how it. What about you, Foyle?
Well, I mean, if the data is unadulterated and totally released, and it looks like it's a viable treatment, I'm not saying that I'm not for the jab. That's something I feel is totally different. The data has been occulted. Okay, I'm good on that. I'm straight on that. But this actually seems like if they can prove that this is safe and viable, I mean, this could help a lot of people. Like, I mean, I think this is actually kind of interesting. You know, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we'll see how that plays out. Let's see, what do we got coming up next? Large Hadron Collider to restart, hunt for a fifth force of nature.
Yeah, this is actually interesting. So the LHC fired up Friday, right? So I mean, so it's a going. So okay, so we know there's gravity, electromagnetism, strong and weak nuclear forces. Those are your four forces of nature. They think that maybe there may be a fifth force. Okay, that could help them explain things, you know, like dark energy, dark matter. There's a reason we can't fully understand because we're missing some pieces. I mean, our standard model of physics is not complete. We know that it's incomplete. We're constantly finding new things. A decade ago, they found the Higgs boson. There are more pieces that we need to find. So what had happened was they ran an experiment. And they were watching the decay of what is called a beauty quark. Now, these things are supposed to decay at an equal rate into electrons and muons. What they noticed was, as the beauty quarks were turning into muons like 15% less often. Okay? So there has to be something causing that effect. So that's what they're looking for. They need to confirm their results, right? Which they said is like a 1 in 1,000 thing. Like normally when they want to say they've made a discovery, it's got to be like a 1 in 3.5 million chance that they're off. This is a 1 in 1,000 chance that they're off, but they're very convinced that something is here. So now they are going to confirm their results and see if they can figure out what is causing this. They're thinking that you know, they see two of the top candidates include the hypothetical force-carrying particles called leptoquarks or Z primes.
JM4N, good to see you out there. And JM4N says dark matter is fake news, right?
Right.
Word.
Hi.
Good to see you.
I mean, this would upend our understanding of physics. I mean, this would change a lot of things, you know. So that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, buddy. All right, here we go. Psychedelic companies are betting big on ketamine as the next Prozac.
Yeah, exciting, right? There's a lot about using psychedelics to treat mental conditions. Like every few weeks we have an article that pops up where they want to use some shrooms for something. They want to use, you know, some
microdosing shrooms helps a lot of people with depression. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I mean.
No, I don't know about these more synthetic drugs. You know, mushrooms again is you know, a more of an organic substance. But you know, go ahead.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Ketamine is already approved for certain medical uses. Now, granted, you know, I mean, you got people that used to do Special K and they'd end up in a K-hole and be all messed up for God knows how long. Like, they already are using ketamine in medical settings, for anesthesia, like doing surgery, whatever. They think now, because they are allowed, this isn't even technically illegal, they're allowed to use it for off-brand treatments. And since they have some scientific backing showing that this has been effective in treating depression in a controlled clinical setting, there are a lot of these clinics that have set up, and this one references a clinic in Connecticut. There are multiple clinics in New York. As a matter of fact, they said that in like 2018, there were 200 or 300 clinics there were 300 clinics in 2018 that were using ketamine as a method for treating depression. I mean, they've even talked about making like a ketamine nasal injector that they could possibly use. Okay, so apparently in New York City alone, there are 20 clinics that do this. So last year, 65 companies poured like $700 million into opening these private clinics where you can go and pay to use ketamine. They give you like a 45-minute long trip. They put you in a special room. It's all, zenned out. And then after you come down off your trip, they walk you through what they call a decompression phase, where they help you journal out, or you can color, or, talk about your experience. None of this is illegal, right? This is all completely legal.
Okay.
There are a great number of these people that are talking about using this on a massive scale, like they said, like Prozac, like as an antidepressant that can just be written in a script by your doctor and given to you that you can take on your own, which sounds like a horrible idea to me. Even if it's useful, this sounds like a horrible idea to me, just putting a bunch of people on freaking ketamine. Right? So apparently that's the plan.
It's already wild out there, man.
Yeah, I mean, Johnson & Johnson is already
put everybody
doing
on
this.
ketamine. Why not? Just why not?
Well, they have Spravato, S-ketamine, right? It's similar to ketamine. I mean, this is still a synthetic drug, but that a branch of Johnson & Johnson is already prescribing to people.
Crazy.
I don't know. All right, what do you guys think about this? Great, more zombies, right? What's up, commies are garbage? Good to see you.
Right. Like, I just don't even know anymore, Boyle. I just don't even.
V says this is the next Oxy.
It's already so crazy out there that
It just amazes me that they are willing to push. They are willing to push people into zombification, literally.
Miranda Anderson says, at least they are finally trying things that actually make people happy and is not addictive to treat depression rather than synthetics of chemicals that don't function in happiness like epinephrine.
I can see that. I mean, I don't mind so much the
about psych drugs. I think they're all bad.
I mean, them using psilocybin, because it's a natural compound, like you said, this is a synthetic compound. Mm-hmm. Like, the shrooms, I can see that. I mean, that's from the earth.
I just don't trust anything synthetic. Period. I've just seen enough and done and researched enough where I just don't trust. I think that our Creator gave us everything that we need, and that whatever we need for whatever is out there. And we shouldn't be messing with Mother Nature. And synthetic things are bad. It's all really simple. My line of thinking. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people out there agree with me on that. Karen Hare came in with the cookie, fry the brain. Right? Yeah, I could tell you that any of these synthetic things, they may appear, I don't know. I just don't trust it. I don't trust it, I don't trust it, and I don't trust it. And that's that, So, all right, let's see. Moving on to technology.
Technology.
All right. NASA holoported a doctor onto the internet. Here we are, man. Look, it's Star Wars. We got the little projector guy. I want to be able to project something to talk to me, or
holoport.
I want to be able to project my buddy. Like if I make a phone call, like they can project themselves into the room and talk to me, Wouldn't that be cool?
Well, that's what they did. That's essentially what they did.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. So apparently this happened in October, but this just broke on the news this past week. They took NASA flight surgeon Dr. Joseph Schmid onto the International Space Station via holoportation. Okay. They beamed just his image up there. And it's crazy because this isn't necessarily new tech. So Microsoft's been pushing this for several years. If you guys remember, what was it, the HoloLens? Microsoft's HoloLens. So they basically took high quality 3D models of the holoporters that they developed. They digitally compressed them, transmitted, and then reconstructed the image in the Spaceborne lab in real time without very much delay, apparently. And then aboard the ISS, they had a mixed reality display using Microsoft's HoloLens that allowed the holoporters and the astronauts to see and interact, see and hear and interact with each other as though they were in the same physical space.
That's
so
wild.
if you have a projector and I have a projector, my projector can receive your projector. You could beam your image and it would come out of my projector and it would be like you were here. Now they said that they are working on making instead of using mixed reality, they're trying to use augmented reality next time where they, instead of being bound to the space of the projector, where they could actually just move around. I mean, they wouldn't be able to touch anything clearly. So it's, not quite like the holodeck, right? But they would be able to move around in real time on the space station or wherever else. Right? You could actually go and walk around up there and not be bound to the actual projector. So, I mean, that's the goal there. Yeah, that's the HoloLens that they were using.
All right,
Isn't that great? I mean, so that's cool,
that is wild.
right?
Star Trek, man, here we go.
All right, I'm a fan.
Massive space cannon can shoot payloads into space at hypersonic speeds.
Yeah, so this is interesting. So there's this company called Green Launch. They literally want to shoot small vehicles into space using a big ass cannon. Okay, a gas cannon, like compressed gas, shoot you out this 54-foot launch tube, and they tested it recently, and they were able to fire a payload into the stratosphere at a velocity that exceeded Mach 3. So they load stuff off onto these little vehicles, they shove it down in the tube, compress a bunch of gas behind it, and just blast it out of there fast as can be, right, and shoot it into orbit.
Wow.
Right? I mean, like, I remember cartoons back in the day, like,
define small launch vehicle? Define small launch vehicle.
They don't say how big the launch vehicles were.
They don't say?
They do not say. Why? What do you mean is foil okay, Tam Grau? Right? Yeah, no, I don't see where they say. No, they talk about the Sharp system. No, but apparently there are multiple companies that are working on this.
Look, we get to see him do it. Watch.
There you go.
Ha, Yuma. That's funny.
Is that where they're at?
Uh-huh.
Is Acme the company? That's what I was thinking, Yuvonda. Right?
I mean, it can't be very big, friend. Look, I mean, that's, it can't be very big.
It looks little, but I mean, if you're launching supplies or you're trying to get it, they said that satellites, I mean, it can fit a satellite supplies, and they can get it into orbit within 10 minutes. They can launch every 60 to 90 minutes. It would basically be like next day air delivery to space.
That's wild. That's super wild. That's cool.
And way cheaper than launching a rocket.
All right. Absolutely. That's wild. I wonder what they can get up there that way. Let's see. Electrified EPatch. We're looking at 10:32 right now, so I'm just trying to move us along through tech as quick as we can. Electrified EPatch bandage speeds healing and kills harmful bacteria.
Yeah,
wild. So
we know that electricity can help heal wounds. Okay, they have this experimental it's an EPatch bandage. You see, it's got the little ingrained electrodes in the patch. that it boosts the healing process by killing the bacteria in a wound. So they developed this at the Los Angeles Terasaki Institute for Biomedical Innovation. It incorporates electrodes that are made of these little silver nanowires. They're mixed in a seaweed-derived hydrogel. It's called alginate.
Yeah.
Well, nano just means little. It doesn't necessarily mean like
I understand that, Foil. I understand that.
It means really
but
little.
I'm good. Yeah.
So, they're, the alginate and stuff, it says they already use that in surgical dressings, but this is biocompatible and it maintains proper moisture level for a wound. So by chemically modifying the alginate and they add calcium to it, the scientists were able to increase the function and the stability of the silver nanowires. So this resulting hydrogel was printed onto this little flexible silicone sheet that you can see. They put this little stencil-like template on there, and then when the template was removed, the alginate that was left behind formed the two electrodes. They were hardwired to an external power source, and then by varying the shape and size of the silicone sheets, it was possible for them to create these little patches that cover and conform to the to the contours of a wide variety of wounds. They were able to keep bacteria out of the wounds and allow people to heal faster. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. All of this technology and all of these innovations are cool. On some
they said
level.
that they had tested it on some rats.
Nexicare, I'm cool with those Band-Aids. Those are fine.
They said they had tested it on some rats, and they had the control group that didn't use the patch. It took them 20 days to heal, but on the rats that they used the EPatch, they healed them in just 7 days.
That's cool. That is cool. I mean, it's cool, right? It's not for me, but it's cool. I'd like to see what it does to somebody else.
I've seen those tattoos, US and on.
Which tattoos are we talking
they
about?
use where they have the electrodes on the tattoos, the electronic tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about it on here before, but the silver is an antibacterial. It's got antibacterial properties anyway. That's why people use colloidal silver. So it keeps infection to a minimum.
I think it's with me. I'm a doctor,
Jim, not a magician. Right?
Until this technology is in the hands of people that are, not out to get us.
You gotta assume, like, the people that are developing this stuff, a lot of them probably have really good intentions. It's all about the application. These are just being used to keep bacteria out of wounds. Like, there's,
right.
It's
probably
seems
fine.
viable to me.
Yeah, I do. I want a space cannon for home defense too. That sounds great.
Right? That sounds like a great plan.
Right? To shoot at those drones that roll up on you and tell you to ignore your soul's desire for freedom.
Right? I don't know if they were humanized mice. I think these were I don't know if these were regular ass mice or humanized mice. And yes, Desert Fire, they had to injure the rats first. They did.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to jump into...
Disclosure.
All right, so what do we got in line? Killer space lasers, crowd control heat among weapons U.S. government's UFO program proposed in documents. Those documents that we can't seem to find, Foil. Laser-equipped spaceships were believed to be possible by 2030, and a secret government agency wanted to make planes invisible. The now-defunct Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, also known as ATIP, which ran from 2000 to 2012, examined the viability of these proposals among other wild plans like nuking the moon. Why would we want to nuke the moon?
To try and get to the center.
Of
Seriously.
What?
The moon.
So nuke it? Don't we kind of need that satellite?
Well, they don't want to like nuke it out of orbit. There was a whole host of weird ass science projects that they were working on with the OSAP program.
Yeah.
And this nuking the moon thing, they were trying to just get down into the moon to find its gravitational center. Was their plan.
Most of the sci-fi-like ideas, which were theoretical or speculative, never came to fruition, were part of a 1,600-page report from the secret Department of Defense agency. Space offers the ideal environment for laser beam propagation. You hear that? that can track or melt targets like missiles, the 2009 to 2010 report said. These devices do offer the potential for a whole new class of weapons and capabilities which may complement but not replace existing kinetic energy weapons and electronic warfare. Kinetic energy weapons, bullets, shells, missiles, and bombs can hit stationary targets but cause collateral damage and have unintended consequences. High-energy laser HEL weapons, by contrast, begin delivering the laser beam's energy to the target at the speed of light, according to the report. However, they require a finite dwell time to accumulate enough thermal energy, also known as heat, on the aim point to achieve the desired effect, similar to a blowtorch. The strength of an HEL weapon is its ability to precisely deliver a limited quantity of energy to a small spot with little collateral damage to nearby objects or people. Speed of light energy transfer coupled with precision tracking allows HEL weapons to efficiently engage softer targets, which are highly maneuverable, only visible for short periods of time, or at extremely long range. It was believed that spacecrafts can be equipped with lasers in 20 years, but policy, not legal concerns, would prevent the DoD from deploying it, according to the report. It alluded to a microwave device for crowd control called active denial, which has been shown to produce temporary pain without any injury. As an example of technology, that policy shelved. Whatever they used for crowd control recently, it caused injuries, did it not?
It did.
It definitely wasn't that. It was something completely different. Other countries may not exhibit similar restraint, as evidenced by the open marketing of laser blinding weapons despite a 1980 Geneva Convention prohibiting their development or use, the report said. The agency explored cloaking technology that would make the fictitious Marvel comic book character Invisible Woman a reality. The theory behind invisible planes is making light refracting materials like glass or water appear as curved spaces by themselves, according to the report. Bending the light around an object would create the ultimate optical illusion, invisibility, which they've been doing with the ships forever. So, officials also feared that if it had gone ahead with the program, it could have resulted in the militarization of space, fueling fears of a galactic conflict. Oh, yeah. The report was released after the Sun requested... Go ahead. What'd you say, Foyle?
I said, yay!
The report released after the Sun requested a copy of all files, reports, or video files related to the Pentagon's secretive UFO program, also known as ATIP, on December 18, 2017, under FOIA. The bombshell FOIA haul includes reports on the DIA's research into the biological effects of UFO sightings on humans, which we went through recently in another video with Severe. That was actually a lot of fun to go through that. We need to definitely do that again and go through some more reports, including burns, heart problems, sleep disturbances, and even bizarre occurrences such as apparent abduction and unaccounted for pregnancy. One document sets out how to categorize anomalous behavior with encounters with ghosts, yetis, spirits, elves, and other mythical legendary entities classed as AN3, and seeing a UFO with aliens on board would be CE3. Other documents obtained included studies into communicating with alien civilizations and plans for deep space exploration and colonization. It was outed by whistleblower Lou Elizondo, who headed up the program back in 2017. 2 bombshell videos of unexplained UFO sightings by U.S. military personnel investigated by ATIP were also published at the time. Around $22 million of funding was provided over the 5-year period. It was outed by whistleblower Lou Elizondo, who headed up the program back in 2017. So the Sun and these folks are clearly working together on some level. I mean, that's pretty blatantly obvious to me. Sex, spats, and UFOs. Top Pentagon intel officer under investigation for having an affair with staffer and interfering with secret aerospace program is dismissed and replaced with his mistress. The fate of the country's top counterintelligence official hangs in the balance after a report claims he sexually harassed staff, had affairs with a subordinate, and interfered with the secret UFO program. Gary Reed, the Department of Defense's DoD Director for Defense Intelligence, was recently relieved of his duties, according to reports by Politico and science and technology news site The Debrief, after a damning Inspector General investigation. The Pentagon issued a statement on Friday saying he is still in his job. But operators at the DoD switchboard told DailyMail.com Reed no longer has a job title linked to his name. His phone number is no longer answered by someone at the office of the Director for Defense Intelligence, but switched over to another office at the department. Lou Elizondo, a former senior staffer, claims in an exclusive interview with DailyMail.com that the counterintelligence chief is in the process of being dismissed for a spat over UFOs, and that his replacement is his alleged mistress. Wow, this is wild. Elizondo, who ran a secret government UFO monitoring program in Reed's department until 2017, told DailyMail.com that the top official allegedly targeted him with a personal vendetta, launched baseless criminal investigations, and tried to get Elizondo's security clearance revoked. And so he's been replaced by his alleged mistress. Elizondo shot to fame in 2017 after helping leak to the New York Times extraordinary videos from U.S. fighter jets of tic-tac-shaped UFOs moving with incredible speed and agility near aircraft carriers off the east and west coast in 2004-2015. In the Times report, Elizondo revealed that he left the secretive $22 million government program after what he has termed excessive secrecy and international opposition to the project. He claims that Reed was under investigation for his treatment of Elizondo, as well as alleged sexual harassment of one of Elizondo's subordinates and several other sexual misconduct claims. Reed's role is one of the most senior at the Pentagon, with responsibility for all law enforcement, counterintelligence, and security across the U.S. Army, Navy, Air Force, covering about 1.2 million people. What do you think about this, Foyle?
Sounds like a lot of Pentagon intrigue, you know.
Right? I mean,
they
this is
still
the dude that tried to
how
throw
did
him
he-
under the bus. So what's up here? What's up with this whole thing?
Yeah.
And then this is wild. Like, I'd have to look into it more. This is the first time I'm even really hearing about it, so I have no idea, but I'd like to look into it more and see if I can figure out what the deal is here with this. It's kind of wild.
What actually happened, right?
Right. What actually happened. All right, let's jump into
Sounds
UFOs.
like a lot of hate.
Right.
Unidentified flying objects.
All right, so let's see. What is this? This is from Twitter account at NY_UAP. Just received word of another UAP video captured on FLIR. Working to get my hands on the original. No details yet. Will update when I learn more. What is this? So grainy, you can hardly make out what's going on. Super
I mean, you
grainy.
can kind
It
of
is.
see it.
Yeah, you can
right?
kind of see, but it's super grainy. Let's see. At just my videos, not a random sighting, not me timing planes or any other type of aircraft. This is intention, coherent thought, and cognitive human interface. It's only a matter of time before the scientific community confirms a connection between consciousness and the phenomenon. Absolutely.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
Yes, sir.
We're going to see if anything comes up.
Yeah. I mean, clearly
gotta
they
give 'em a
respond to your
second.
they respond to your thoughts, so yeah.
Stay tuned. A couple minutes later.
Oh, I miss seeing ships. I miss my space friends.
I mean, he claims he was going out there to call to them to show up, and that this thing showed
And
up.
then they did, right? That's cool. That's cool. So he went out there by himself to put the call out, and a ship showed up like this. That's cool. I mean, the ships usually do when it's a group of people, you know, that are in alignment with the right intent. But just a single person, sometimes they don't. So that's cool when they do. They can read our thoughts, Canadian. Their consciousness is all connected. They know what you're thinking, so when you put the call out in your mind that you would like to see them, they hear you. And if they want to interact with you, or they think you're ready, or whatever their reasoning may be, then they show up. That's how CE5s work, essentially. That's how CE5s work. It's the collective intent of the group. Another one from the same guy. Just my videos a year ago today, I recorded multiple phenomenon on or around the water during a contact event. This is a partial clip of the most bizarre thing filmed that night. Notice the water being disturbed below it.
Wow.
Newport, Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Wesley West, like Dr. Greer, but you don't need Dr. Greer to go have a CE5.
What the hell? She looks so crazy in person.
There's no
too.
CE5 guru out there.
Man. The amount of energy, that thing's expensive.
That's cool. That's wild.
I thought so.
There's some videos I want to show too that did these. It's got like a ship and it's got like a light tailing it, and I've seen these all over the place when I've been doing recon lately, and I just want to show everybody, and maybe they can get their minds working on what could be causing this, or why they're showing up looking like this lately. It's strange. This is a long video that he captured this for.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
Yeah, the moment we start studying consciousness, we'll make huge breakthroughs and leaps in understanding our world and ourselves and, you know, high technology. But it's all consciousness. It's all connected to consciousness, which is understanding our creator and understanding ourselves. And until we start turning our attention to that and start studying that, we're just going in circles, really. Or at least in the mainstream, you know.
Tam Growl said that looks like the Star of Bethlehem.
Yeah, it does. It totally does. That's wild. Alright.
Oh,
Let's see what else we got. We are not alone in the universe. Coming from Eco Codex on Twitter. This is kind of wild. I'm surprised we don't get more UFO videos from planes.
There are a lot.
That's wild. Can you imagine sitting on a plane, seeing that outside your window? Like, this is fine. Oh no, it's still there. Fantastic, Becky.
Thanks, Rainbow Snuggle Fritz, for the can.
Pretty cool, right? Alright, let's see what else we got here. Possible UFO in Ukraine. What are your thoughts on the ball of light? Oh, it looked like it was going to collide with that plane. I bet that plane was tripping, like, oh my gosh. Can you imagine being in that plane? Like, oh my god, do you see what's headed straight for us? And then it just disappears. It'd be kind of scary. Anyone have any idea what these two lights might be? Seen in Sydney, Australia, approximately 9:30 a.m. Eastern, appear to be flying to the northwest. Reddit Recon. Yeah, that was cool last year at ECETI when that fleet of ships flew over in formation. That was wild. And I've seen some wild stuff at ECETI, but that was like a whole nother level of wild.
Was there ever video posted?
Formation. Of what? The ships in formation that flew over the ranch?
Yeah, they're still there.
Yes.
They're going quickly,
I don't think anybody got it on tape.
Yeah, they're going quickly, though.
I don't know, though. I haven't asked James. I hope somebody got it on tape because that was crazy. That was shocking, actually. It was cool, though. Super cool.
Can you see it?
Canadians, sometimes they can be seen.
Who?
Starlink satellites during the day.
Yeah. They're really easy to see at night. They're all in a line, and they're pretty low. That's how they're easy to spot. Bright white light over Madrid last night. There's some apps that you can get to that will tell you when you see something, so you can confirm
Starlink tracking. Yeah.
So you can confirm that it's not this or not that. You can eliminate things. There's apps you can get. I forget what the name of the main one is. Bright white light over Madrid last night. See what I'm talking about? There's like an object, and then there's something to the left of it.
That's kind of weird.
I found like 3 or 4 videos like this, Foil, where there's like one object, and then there's another one to the left or to the right of it. It's just odd. I noticed that with quite a few videos, and I can't figure out. Maybe the chat will have some ideas. I can't figure out what could be causing that or what,
Oh, I meant to tell you that
maybe the intuitives out there will get a hit on it.
At 6 o'clock in the morning today, like right before the sun rises, there's a planetary alignment that we're supposed to be able to see here. The moon and 4 planets are supposed to be in alignment that you're going to be able to see for the next couple days, I think. But it's right before sunrise that you can see them outside.
Oh, that's cool. Becky Lou says, I was falling asleep when the fleet flew over. The cheering woke me up in time to see it. Yeah, Becky Lou was there. There's probably a few people out in this chat that was there the night that fleet came over. Was that at night that happened, or was that like evening, Becky? Because I can't remember it. I just remember it came out of kind of nowhere, and all of us were like floored. It was just amazing. It was amazing to see that. Okay, so this one just says UFO.
Yes, Canadian. Moon, Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, and Venus. That's right.
Michael Scott says he was tipping. You didn't see the fleet go over the ranch? See, there again, you see? It's the fuzzy big blob on the right of whatever, and then there's the smaller light on the left. Like,
maybe the smaller light is the object and it's causing some kind of a distortion.
There's something. I haven't figured it out, but maybe, there's usually quite a few intuitives in our chat, so maybe somebody will get a hit on it look at that. So, and then that light is still there, the fuzzy stuff to the right, but the object is gone. It's phased out. I don't know. Maybe is it going to come back or no? Canadian says he thinks the fuzzy blob might be a plasma cloud portal. Oh, look. Look at there.
Yeah, it's bright now.
Hold on, I want to see how it came back in. Wait. It just phased back in. And now it's one object. A portal.
Frozen toilet dump? Maybe. Keep true.
Hey, useless crayon eater. Good to see ya. Yeah, I don't know. There's a few videos where that's going on, that dynamic, though. With the one light on the left and then the other light on the right. We got to wrap it up here.
Yes, Sassy Q. They started up on Friday.
The Hadron Collider. What is this? Any ideas? Recorded on the southeastern coast of England at 2050, April 21st to 2022. See?
Oh.
That same thing. You see the fuzzy cloud, and then the smaller object to the right. This time is to the right. But you see what I mean? It's the same thing. It's the same sort of thing. And when this happens, when I do recon and I find 3 or 4 videos with the same thing going on, there's something to this. I don't know what. I haven't figured it out, but there's something to it. I'm seeing it all over the place. So, and then I wanted to show this quickly, and then we'll close out the show, guys. The triangle thing, the triangle filmed behind the cloud in China. So if you guys haven't seen this yet, this is wild. Watch this.
Oh yeah, this was good.
There's a triangle cloaking itself in the clouds. And it's a big one, too.
Yeah.
It's like all these secret space programs are like flexing a little bit. And it's like there's like a race to kind of disclosure on some level because I don't know. I can't figure it out. You know, but all these sightings where we've seen craft above, you know, government buildings and stuff like that, there's something to all that. You know, the flyover in the 50s was a direct kind of threat coming from a certain faction. You know, that's what these kind of events are. So I wonder, I don't know. I don't have it all figured out. I wish I did. But yet they're taking their sweet time with disclosure and just dragging it out where we're barely getting anything. It's crazy. So, you know, it's almost like they're, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Like
We've
they're
got
competing.
more in the past 3 years than we have in the previous 60 years. So it's something.
I mean, absolutely. They're beginning to disclose. That's absolutely true. But they're not being at all honest about, you know, what's really going on. But maybe Congress will get to the bottom of it eventually. Maybe they'll, you know, demand answers to this stuff, and then eventually we'll get something because, you know, at this point they're not even claiming to have recovered materials, really. You know, which leads you to the obvious direction of we have these craft ourselves and so do the other countries, and it's just kind of a race to tell the public who is fast asleep and has no clue, basically. And so it's got to be a slow thing, I think. They think it's got to be a slow thing so they can play out gas, coal, and oil as long as they can continue to manipulate and enslave. And plus it's going to take a while for the people to be able to take in this information and not freak out, I think, on some level. You know, all at once. I did it all at once, and it took some time. Like, you know, can you imagine if the whole planet woke up at one time? How would everybody go to work and function and do their job? And, you know, certain industries would just completely shut down. So, I mean, in a way, I kind of understand it, but at the same time, there's a lot to disclose. So, yeah, man. Let's see. What do I need to bring up? Thank you, Christina Love, once again for your amazing
woke
gifts.
Societies.
Really
Yes,
appreciate
thank you,
you
Christina.
so much. I love my pillow. I love all the presents you sent us. You're wonderful. Thank you so much. And big thank you to Treeway, too, for her amazing greeting cards. I did make a post over on Telegram about where you can find her to get her amazing custom greeting cards. They're just amazing. So I made a post over on Telegram. Let me know and I can resend it if you want to get her contact information. And Yuvonda, I fixed Yuvonda's link for all of her Organite stuff and her shop. It is fixed over on YouTube.
Etsy.
The link, Etsy. The link is over on YouTube now. It's in there. So if the mods feel so inclined, would like to spread her link around, the one that actually works for those that would like to look into getting her stuff. What's up? What's up, Scott? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while, friend. Hi, Matt. So on that note, okay, once again, two things I want to bring up quickly before we close the show, and I will go release the scratch-in. Conspiracy Couch, targeted individuals. You know, the main reason we're doing the show is to obviously bring attention to the topic. It's been tied in with a lot of these documents, the ones that we went through the last show when we did the dig, the ones that we've been talking about a lot in disclosure lately. So and we really want to talk to as many people as we can who have had these experiences directly. So please call into the Conspiracy Couch. That's going to be May 2nd, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern on targeted individuals. Also, I kind of want to put the call out there. I need some help with research, and I just don't have enough time to get it all done. So if there's anybody out there who has the time on their hands and is willing to help me do some research, I really, really could use some help. So please DM me over on Pilled, get my attention in my chat over on Telegram, at Alara of Sirius channel. Find me some way, send me an email. I have 2 email addresses that are posted over on my YouTube channel. Please get a hold of me because I could really, really use the help, guys, on some stuff I'm trying to get done. And on that note, let me go and release the scratching over on Foxhole. Give me just a second here. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for all the gold pills tonight, you guys. The support and the love.
And thank
really
you,
appreciate
Zaydanon,
that.
for the can.
All right, scratching is released over in the Foxhole, guys. Go and get your treats, your scratching treats. That's done. Yeah, and that's about it.
All right. Thank you, mods. Thank you guys for being here. We love you. Thank you, Zaydanon, for the can. Yeah, you guys know what it is. Like, share, subscribe, help us spread this information. Guys, if you haven't already, go make a free account on one of the free speech platforms. We'd love to see you over on Rockfin or Foxhole. Come hang out with us there. And if you want to donate directly, the links to the Venmo and Cash App are in the YouTube description below. Please feel free. Thanks, Darren Max, Darren Max, for the super chat. Much love to you. And we will catch you again next Sunday. Same time, same place, 9 p.m. Eastern, here on 1 Foot in 5D for another awesome episode of Space Force News Live. Until then, keep your eyes in the skies and stay loyal.
We are your news in this dimension and the next. Good night, Spatriots. Spatriots.
Spatriots.
Yeah, Spatriots. We've decided to change the name to Spatriots. Good night, Spatriots.
Yes.
Much love. Thank you for all the support. We love hanging out with you on Sunday nights. We will see you next Sunday.